Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91, talking to you guys about Ready to Love, dealing with the fact that has Sydney got Phil by the or is Phil just playing the game? I want to talk a little bit about the power of Sydney in this particular episode, because she's managed to wrangle her way from where she was middle of the show to being top number one spot in Frank and in Phil's eyes at the moment. So let's talk a little bit about their connection and some of their conversation that they had, and break down some of the stuff that we can learn from watching these two. So if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you guys, and stay locked and stay loaded. So let's talk about Phil and Sydney. So, I mean, the biggest thing here we got with the situation really is the fact that Sydney, okay, is sexy. Let's keep it a back. Sydney is a bad mama jamma, okay? All right? When you see her, you're struck by her instantly. And this is very important. And this is something that I think us men are very much aware of. And I think women are aware of, but sometimes maybe they don't feel... I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Let me not say that. Let me not make an assumption. Let me just say this. Let me point out the obvious. Sydney is so good looking for Phil that he's willing to release Shiloh early. And here's the thing. He was never fully convinced about Shiloh. Okay, all right? And this is why this show is so dangerous, because what happens is, this is actually what happens when you juggle options. More options join the table, more people become part of the game, and then you have so many different pieces and puzzles of pieces of the jigsaw puzzle from different people that now you're just not sure where to go. And I said this in my other review. I want to pinpoint something very obvious though, which is the way that Sydney behaves in comparison to Shiloh. Shiloh really comes with the emotional conversation, deep thought, and gets you into your feelings. And Sydney gives you good vibes. So the feelings you're feeling with Sydney is always good vibes. It's nice to be around them. And in fact, we talk about in psychology about this halo effect, and talking about how, especially when men are in closer proximity to beauty, how they can often ascribe more positive attributes or points to somebody who's beautiful, even if they're not that particular way. Like, you might think they're more intelligent, or you might think they're much more nicer, just because you find them far more attractive. And I think what we're seeing with Phil, and what we're seeing with Sydney is a greater increased attraction from Phil to Sydney. There is a sexual tension. When I get down feeling, I need a sexual healing. And he's feeling that with Sydney. Sydney is a vibe. Let me just say this now. Sydney knows how to flirt. She knows how to flirt. Let me tell you something. I would have fun. If a girl comes to me like that, I'm going to have fun too. Right? So what's happened with Phil here is, some people say, he's ready to love, everything like that. But he was never ready to love Shiloh. This is the problem with the show. He was never ready to love Shiloh. So it actually isn't a mad move to leave Shiloh and go towards Sydney. All right? Now, I took just a little bit earlier, I just talk about halo effect. The halo effect. When we're talking about how people ascribe positive attributes because, let's say, someone is really good looking, right? The halo effect. And why am I mentioning that? Because one of the things that he kind of said in the beginning was, old girl was kind of sweet and loving and caring heart, right? And I think that was intentional. I think he sees those qualities, he sees those qualities, and I'm not trying to downplay those qualities in her. I'm just saying that it also increases those particular qualities to a greater amount when we're talking about halo effect, right? So let me give you a definition of halo effect so that you actually understand what I'm saying, because I know what I'm saying, but you might not understand what I'm kind of saying. So let's get halo effect up so you can understand. So, halo effect is a tendency for positive impressions of a person, company, brand, or product in one area to positively influence one's opinion or feelings in another area. What is the positive impression of a person? Is her beauty. And because of her beauty, now you're gonna add positive influence on one's opinion in other areas about that person. So she might just be a normally nice person, but you're gonna add, oh, they're super kind, super loving, super caring, and just like that because you find them attractive. It's really important, right? Now, I don't know if anybody noticed in the conversation with him and Sydney, he actually put down his relationship with Shiloh to Sydney. Basically, what he said was to Sydney, I'm going to say this and then say what he actually said. He basically said to Sydney, I want you, Sydney. And do you know what? Just in case you think I'm too close to Shiloh, it ain't even going that well. So don't worry about that. Let's make our moves, right? Once he said, me and Shiloh had some bumps in the road. Why did he have to mention that? Well, because she asked him about the connection he had with Shiloh. He could have easily just said, listen, well, me and Shiloh's, connection is going really, really well. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm cool with that, but I'm also focused here as well. You know what I'm saying? I've got a Shiloh connection, but I feel like I've got a connection with you and I want to explore that just as much as I wanted to explore the Shiloh thing, right? That would have been a sensible kind of reply here in this situation. But he doesn't say that. He actually puts the relationship with Shiloh down by saying we've had some bumps in the road. Now that's a negative connotation being added to the relationship he had with Shiloh. He doesn't necessarily put Shiloh down, but the relationship they have puts it down, which means he never really was deeply there. I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why I'm saying that is because Phil rarely says negative stuff. Have you guys noticed? Rarely does. So for him to say negative stuff in that moment, right? And it's the second time we heard him say something negative about the relationship with Shiloh rather than Shiloh herself. Earlier on he said to Shiloh about, she tries to scope and go a bit deeper, and it's annoying. But in a good way, though. No. There's no in a good way. So we can clearly see that, the connection that he has with Shiloh is much deeper than he is. And he is assessing the situation with Sydney. Now, it's a very difficult, precarious position to be in because you got to handle Shiloh with care. At the same time, you don't want to over-handle Shiloh so that it looks bad or repels, Sydney away from him. So he's got to keep that fine balance when it comes to their connection, and I get it. Sydney said what he can work on, and it's really interesting. Her thing that she said he can work on is actually being more vulnerable. And the moment she said that, it seemed as if they had a conversation where he was being more vulnerable. Right, whereas with Shiloh, doesn't seem to be the case. And I've mentioned this in my other review that what happens is sometimes whoever you're attracted to, you can tend to do things you never would have done. If people want to make a big scene about the fact that Phil was being more vulnerable with Sydney but not with Shiloh. It wasn't long ago I did a video about the fact that Jeannie May didn't want to have kids with a last partner, but wanted to have it with Jeezy. And all the women in there came out, I shouldn't say all the women that were siding with Jeannie May came out and said, when you find the right man, you decide to change your ways. Well, guess what, ladies? The same way. You're not going to put Phil down for being more open with Sydney. And you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I said, when you find your person who you like enough to do so, you will change your behavior. And that is what he's done. He found someone that he likes enough to be able to change that behavior about vulnerability. Okay, and Sydney obviously let him know that she wants to get to know him up close and personal. And when they actually, what was interesting is that they have a lot of sexual chemistry. Like, let's keep it a buck. There's a lot of sexual chemistry. And the kissing that she does, Sydney, she wants to suck your soul from your body. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Sydney wants to suck your soul from your body, okay? The way she put both hands on his face and gave him that kiss, I said, she wants to suck the soul from your body. Brother, you need to run now, okay? You need to run now. But no, with all jokes aside, I think what was really interesting, about this was, that he's touching he drew his chair in closer to her, like he did everything to get close. He's sexually attracted. He's involved. And that can also guide our decision making. Now, some people might say, well, he's here for ready to love, and obviously you don't follow your sexual connection, but it's like, yeah, we are ready to love, but I'm trying to go for the best match for me. And that right now makes sense for him with Sydney. It makes sense for him right now. I'm not going to shoot a man down for that. But like I said, with him and Sydney, they're definitely very close, very tactile, very touchy-feely. And, that is very, very eye-opening to see, because it means that there is probably a greater scope for that relationship trying to work, and potentially him choosing Sydney as well. So I want to say this, guys. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. We'll see you again for another episode.